Hey there, everybody. Lord Maim here with part 23 of the Mass Effect 3 Insanity walkthrough. This is N7 Communications Hub. For those of you keeping track, this is the last of the N7 missions, and meaning you're really in the home stretch now. The first encounter starts immediately out of the gates. You'll have 6 assault troopers, a couple of centurions, and a combat engineer. If at all possible, try to kill the combat engineer early. Just, force of habit, but those guys can be a real pain in the ass. Usually they try to set up on top of that platform you can see right ahead where the ladder is. If they manage to get a turret up there that can spray down on you, it can make things a little more challenging for you, but just keep an eye on your radar and attack him as soon as he pokes his head out. All the enemies will come from straight ahead, like through that lower ramp, or on the upper level, climbing down the ladder or jumping down that drop there. So you can really keep your squad back and just take them as they come. Oh, there he is. Kill him. It's always good when they're dropping down like that. They use their jet boots to slow their descent. They're pretty much stationary and they won't counterattack until they land. So it's a really good opportunity, particularly if there's a higher drop as they're dropping down, to take care of them before they can possibly counterattack. Especially combat engineers. Frequently check your radials, your L2 and R2 buttons to see the radar. As always with N7 missions, because of the construction of the missions, since they're designed to be multiplayer maps, they're designed in such a way that the enemies can always flank you. If you happen to be at a bad position, it will really cause trouble if the enemies get around you and are able to hit you from multiple sides at once. Particularly in the later missions now where we're having waves of 10 plus people at a time, it's always wise to try to find a defensible position and know where the pathing of the enemies are going to cause them to attack you. Second encounter will be triggered immediately after hitting the first hacking device. One of two ways to go about this. You can either back up to this area where I'm standing now, or try to fight them all off from the top of the ramp. That can be a bit of a problem, as the enemies do tend to come from the circular room at the top of the stairs. However, from here you can usually funnel them all from one direction, although you'll want to hang back behind the cover that's a little bit further back from where I am now. Just keep track of where the enemies are actually coming from and you'll be fine. Just be wary for later in the encounter when the nemesis actually starts showing up, or nemesis start showing up, because they can pin you down a lot more easily than any other enemy. Can leave you in a vulnerable position for either assault troopers that charge you or centurions that throw grenades, for example. If you happen to get a lucky shot in with an assault trooper that charges you, it's all the more sweet, but hopefully you're able to kill these guys before they get anywhere near you. Also, as you can see, my squad is again charging for no apparent reason. If you don't specifically tell them to hang back, they can often get themselves into trouble, much like, children with an atom bomb. Or, I assume. I've never actually seen nuclear-capable children. Moving along. Enemies will usually swarm up this ramp. The ones that don't are going to come through the circular area at the top of the ramp and down towards you. It's not very often they come from the left-hand side, so you can usually limit the corridors that are going to funnel the enemies to you. Just when you do happen to see guys in odd positions, make sure to take care of them first so that you can draw your attention back to the normal flow. Particularly when the nemesis start showing up. Speak of the devil. Particularly when coupled with the Centurion's smoke grenades, it can be a real pain in the ass to deal with them.
Right away.
If you can whack their shields, hit them with a singularity to incapacitate them. Otherwise, you can just flat up try to kill them. An application of stasis or an overload to take care of their shields, one way or the other.
Understood.
Staying back in this position is pretty safe until such time as you have enemies that actually do charge up to the left.
Right away.
Never hurts to make use of Adrenaline Rush when you're dealing with snipers. I have no idea why mine got disassociated, but flipping in and out of the L2, R2 menus looking for radars, that can sometimes happen. So be aware. Sometimes these encounters turn into a snipe hunt at the end, looking for the last one that's nowhere to be seen. You're not sure if he exists. It's usually fairly easy until they become either snipers or phantoms. Then it's a little bit more scary. But you'll know for sure when you've eliminated them all, when you get the autosave. Then simply go to the next waypoint and activate the hacking device. Another thing that's a good idea to do is make sure your ammo is back up to full before hitting the device. This is again another prolonged encounter, but this will take you right through to the end of the mission, so after this you'll be done, luckily. Set your squad into cover here as well so that they hang back. There are quite a few nemesis and at least one phantom in the area, in addition to just a large number of centurions, so better that they stay back and out of harm's way. One thing to keep in mind though is because you're facing in this direction, the circular raised area there is the perfect sniper's nest for both nemesis units or centurions, making it difficult to hit them because they both have shielding. You can't use singularity to pop them up out of cover. So it's really down to you and your sniper rifle to hit the smallest portion of them and cause them to stagger and then hit them again before they recover. Doubly challenging because some of the Centurions and of course the Phantom are going to be charging your position at the same time. So be aware of what's in the area. Adrenaline rush is always a good thing as well. Give you a more time to line up your shot in addition to the additional damage that it'll give you. And definitely keep an eye out for that phantom when it shows up. See, the enemies are far enough back in this stage that they're actually not even showing up on your radar. So when you start to think that maybe all the enemies are gone, just be careful not to expose yourself to sniper fire. Ah, there's that phantom. As always, a good application of stasis is a good starting point. Then just keep wailing on it with sniper fire till it dies. There is only the one in this encounter, not a major problem, but you want to make sure to take care of him before he starts sneaking up behind you. Much like these sneaky Centurions today. I don't know what's going on. This far back position where I am now, because of the sort of the orientation of the cover and the wraparound area, is actually perfect for hanging back if you find yourself under too much fire. You can cheat the corner and just stay here, taking care of any of the nemesis or Centurions that happen to be up in that crow's nest area. Just make sure to keep track of your radar so that you don't get flanked. I don't know how many times I can say that in a row, but still. And once again, we see the demonstration of biotic abilities that can gain additional range by being coupled with your sniper rifle scope. I don't know if that's by design or by default, but it makes it much easier to pick off enemies at a distance if you're able to use your biotic abilities with your sniper scope, rather than just relying on its very limited range under normal circumstances. If you happen to run out of ammo entirely, there is a ammo box up the stairs to the left here, just up this ramp. But use it sparingly, because I don't believe there's much left in it at this point. Worst case scenarios, there are several static spawns throughout this level that you can salvage if necessary, but when under fire like this, it's usually best to be prepared ahead of time. And have better aim than me, but that's a different story. Oftentimes when the Centurions are hiding behind cover there, all you can do is really just wait them out. Until their shields are depleted, you can't use your singularity to pop them up. Usually by the time you can hit them to deplete their shields, they're usually in a position to finish them off. But once all the enemies have been killed, move up into the crow's nest area and activate the last hacking device to bring the mission to a close. So that's the end of part 23 of the Mass Effect 3 Insanity walkthrough and 7 Communications Hub. Join us next time for part 24, Priority Horizon. Till then, I'm Lord Maim. Thanks for watching.